What is an MS4? It is municipally operated or municipally owned or operated separate storm sewer system. And I mean separate. It does not include sanitary sewers that would go, of course, to a treatment plant or a combined sewer system. They are not covered by this. It does include the entire storm sewer collection system and conveyance system. That includes inlets, pipes, swales. Of course, swales are just natural waterways, gutters, ditches, streets. Streets are considered to be part of this system. Basins and outlets. They can also apply to, they refer to semi-municipal entities. Prisons, Department of Transportation actually is an MS4 permit. Universities, counties, hospitals, and military bases. It's based on the urban, if you're an urban, what's considered to be an urbanized area. And the large ones were done, they were regulated under what they call Phase 1, Philadelphia, Pittsburgh, very large systems. Most of us are small MS4s, and it's regulated in what they call Phase 2. This program, I think it's in about its 11th year, if I'm not mistaken. This, very quickly, is just the Harrisburg urbanized area, which if you have a municipality certainly that has any of these cross-hatch areas, your system is going to is considered an MS4, it's going to discharge to these areas. Just as an example, this is the one in Dauphin County. 40 municipalities, 15 plus the county, it's a total of 16 have MS4 regulations that apply. What do you need to do if you're an MS4 municipality? And again, some of this may be repetitive, but it doesn't hurt to hear it again. The MS4 program requires the regulated municipalities that, again, own or operate these MS4s to obtain permit coverage. And as you know, we're up for renewal, and I'll talk about that. The permit requires the, as you know, the 6 minimum control measures, or MCMs as they're called. Quickly, public education, public participation, illicit discharge detection and management, construction site stormwater management, post-construction stormwater management, and what's referred to as good housekeeping and pollution prevention at municipal facilities. Summarized in a chart here, basically under public education, provide education materials to target audiences. And this is all part of the permit or the plan, your stormwater management plan, which is required for this, as our MS4 municipalities are certainly aware of. Provide MS2, public involvement, for opportunities for public involvement in stormwater management program. MCM3, illicit discharges. This is implement a program to prevent and detect and eliminate illicit discharges. When we talk about illicit discharges, we're talking about basically things that should not be in that system. The only thing that should be coming out of your outlets is stormwater. That's it. If it's dry, it hasn't rained in 3 days, and you've got liquid coming out of that pipe, the end of that pipe, your outlet, you've got a problem. Because somewhere somebody's dumping something down that drain they shouldn't. Also, what I look for when I do inspections in our facilities, one, the county prison, that's fun. And when you do something like facility at the county prison, please inform the right person that you're going to be there on the prison grounds that day. Otherwise, you will be faced with a scowling gentleman with a shotgun over his shoulder that I quickly explained of what I was doing. And I said, I work with their maintenance people. I said, I told him I was going to be here today. Well, he doesn't tell us anything. So next time I have to do it, it's on a rotational basis. Oh, I'll be checking with the warden. I'm going to be here at a certain time, and don't wear orange either. That's what their jumpsuits are. So that could be fun. And I'm sure some of the others that have done this have stories that you could tell as well. Very interesting ones. Not to snakes and various other things you encounter. But anyway, under that, are ordinances required? Yes, they are. The municipality must have an ordinance that covers that and provides for that. Under the fourth one, construction site stormwater management. That's really dealing with erosion, sedimentation, pollution from construction sites, construction activities. And that can also include some other things as well. Timber operations of 25 acres or more. Most of these just cover from 1 acre and above. But if you have timber operation that's more than 25 acres, they do require a permit for a 102 permit for erosion and sedimentation control. Does the municipality need to have an ordinance to address that? Yes. And I'll get into that more because Chapter 102 and this NPDES construction permitting is really handled through the state program. So your involvement in that as a municipality, even in under MCM4, if you can document, for example, if you enter into the county, I can speak to Dauphin County. If they enter into an agreement with us, memorandum of understanding, that's sufficient to cover this, because this is handled through the state program, which we administer at the county level. Implemented by the district in our county, in your particular county, I can't speak to. Maybe the conservation is handled by someone, maybe the conservation district or maybe another county entity. It's implemented by us in Dauphin County, and it would behoove you to have a MOU with us, because you can show that to the EPA and say this is being handled. The fifth one, post-construction stormwater management. This is a good one. Again, this is something fairly new. It's really to implement a program to provide for stormwater management after construction is complete. And it depends if you're a 167 under a active or approved 167 plant or not. But basically, when that project is developed, the whatever and new hard surfaces you have, impervious surfaces you have to be managed. In other words, the hydraulic, if that was a forest, and you developed it into an industrial site, or you developed it into a housing project, the hydrology should be the same after construction as it was before. That means no additional runoff from those surfaces, no infiltration provided, the same that was there when that site was a forest, and also dealing with those water quality aspects. However, normally in the water quality aspects, that's addressed if you're in Act 167 municipalities. If you do the infiltration that you're required to do, a lot of that's handled through that, so you don't have to do anything really that much extra. And I mentioned again, Act 167 stormwater management planning. If you're in Dauphin counties, you know you do need that ordinance, and then this is where you need to get involved in that as well. The sixth one, good housekeeping. Basically just implement a program to minimize pollution from the facilities and activities. One of these things that I do, and I'll talk a little bit about this, is one of the things I do is training. I'm required every year to meet with all the various maintenance staffs that are responsible for maintaining these systems to train them. I set up meetings with them. I talk about this, the things that they're supposed to do as far as good housekeeping. For example, if you have a storage area for gasoline, you don't put it right next to, unprotected right next to a stormwater inlet. Not a good idea. If you've got a bunch of pile of salt you're going to go spread all over your areas, you don't put it right next to a storm drain. If you do, you have a dam or something to prevent it from washing into it. Very simple things. Keeping the grass clippings out of the inlets, things such as that. This is the chart, a little bit more visual. You can see how this kind of all fits together with these minimum compliance measures. And again, I won't go over this again, but the three you do need ordinances for. Two of them are handled under NPDS. Actually, also, the NPDS program that administered by the state and covered by us in Dauphin County does cover some of the, I think it's 1 through 3 of there's various requirements under these MCMs. And it covers, I think, the first 3 requirements under the 5th one as well. So we handle that. And again, you can see at the bottom, of course, the Countywide Act 167 ordinance language. Again, if you don't have that, you don't need to worry about that. Public education. Again, I talked a lot about this. I'll go through this quickly. And when I say must, it means must. You must do this. Develop and implement a public education plan. And I'll talk a little bit about what we do here at the county. Determine appropriate best management practices under this and measurable goals. Like how many people you're going to get to, how many people you need to get to educate. Things you can that you can do. Fact sheets. We do fact sheets every year. I just developed 2 new ones, for example, for this permitting year. We do coordinate these educational activities with other municipalities within the county and conduct activities that are county-wide, even though we just have the 9 regulated facilities. We cooperate in a couple of areas, especially in MCM1, with other regulated municipalities in Dauphin County. We have a stormwater management website. I would encourage you to visit it, and some others that I have some additional information slide on that. And you may provide a link from your website, if you have one, to that website as part of this and could meet that requirement. This is pretty much required singly from the NPDS MS4 requirements. That's one of the posters. I do modified ones now. That's an old one from that we got from DEP years ago. We do a newspaper ad. That's the one on your right. That's the new one this year. I modify those every year. And we do public speaking, things such as this. I'm still going to try to figure out if this actually qualifies, if I can get some credit for this. I don't know. But I'll be looking into it. Anywhere we can get it sounds good to me. The public participation part. Comply with the appropriate laws for public notices. Public notices for anything that deals with stormwater management, those types of things. Determine, again, for appropriate BMPs. And all this is contained within your stormwater management plan, which is part of the meeting that requirement. And again, opportunity provided to the public to comment on your stormwater management program at public meetings and various things like this. And again, on opportunity to comment on storm management related ordinance adoptions. Participation activities such as stream cleanups, drain stenciling, volunteer monitoring, all kinds of things you can do in your municipality to address this. For example, this one here, you can see to the large photo there to the right, upper right, is a project that we did. Actually, I managed that, establishment of a streamside buffer along the Swatara Creek. We just finished and are wrapping up a project, streamside buffer restoration, not too far from here, that actually one of our attendants here participated in along Spring Creek, and that was a part of that to restore that particular streamside buffer here in Hershey. Also, things such as stream monitoring, various other activities there as well. Illicit discharges. And this is always fun. It all depends where your outlets are located. As I mentioned, some of them can be in not the most convenient places. One of them I pretty much have to be a rappel down from a bank. It's about this steep. So I learned kind of rock climbing and things through that. But again, you must under this map your storm sewer system and discharge points. All of them have to be mapped and identified. Implement an ordinance prohibiting illicit discharges. Have a plan to detect and address illicit discharges. We have that certainly at the county. And provide education on hazards of illicit discharges, which we also do. And determine the appropriate, again, best management practices and measurable goals under this. Here, and as mentioned before, this is a lovely photo. Don't you love this one down here? I'm not going to tell you where it is. It's not in Derry Township. It's somewhere further north. But anyway, this is behind a restaurant, and this is oil and grease that just leaked and went right down that storm sewer. Guess where it's going? Directly into the stream, not too far away. Things such as this. Now that one here, you have pretty much sediment there. But one of the things you want to certainly look for is, and people, and unfortunately the general public sometimes views these storm sewer inlets as being disposal areas. They'll dump oil, grease, household chemicals. They think it goes to a treatment plant. It doesn't. It goes directly to a waterway, which may be not too far from where they're getting their drinking water from. And yeah, we say, well, we send it through a filtration plant. I used to work in water supply planning and work with a number of public water suppliers. And every one of them told me, the more you have that in there, the more expensive it is. Water's still fairly cheap, but it does increase the cost and continues to increase the cost. The more that they have to remove, the cleaner that water is, the raw water is, the less it costs them, and hopefully they'll pass that savings on to us. They may not there, but they'll definitely pass on the increased cost of having to filter that out and these various pollutants. Even if this stuff goes to a combined sewer, it doesn't handle all that. I won't get into that part of it. I'm not here to talk about that, but that's a whole nother very interesting area. Got a whole seminar on that. What gets treated at a wastewater treatment plant, what goes through the system that we end up drinking. But for a later time.